Hey everybody, so it's Oliver the Wolf Guy coming to you live from inside our habitat, keeping an eye on our little... Hey, Sonny, be gentle with the puppy. The tail is not a chew toy. I've got a little Malamute puppy that we've just added to the family here, and everybody is babysitting, but Sonny is a little overexcited about the puppy. Luckily, the puppy can kind of handle it, but if they get too rough, Cooey will come charging in and kick everyone's butt. And I'm here just in case. Hey, come on, Sonny. Sonny's the only one I worry about just because she's a little bit rough. But the puppy kind of gives back as good as she gets, don't you, Nepente? So we'll talk about Nepente in another video. What I'm really interested to talk about today is what happened in Wyoming. So for those of you that follow me on any social media, you may have seen some of the posts I've done. But recently... an individual, a monster, a sadist, a sociopath by the name of Cody Roberts, took advantage of one of Wyoming's extremely liberal wolf hunting laws, and he ran down a wolf puppy, less than a year old, with a snowmobile. But that didn't kill her. It just badly injured her. And then he took her to his home, where he duct taped her muzzle shut, put 2 shock collars on her, and tortured her over a period of several days. Then, because he wasn't satisfied that he'd abused this poor animal enough, he took her to the Green River Bar in Daniel, Wyoming, where he paraded her around, still with her muzzle duct taped shut, bleeding from internal injuries, and tortured her in front of a bar full of people who apparently egged him on. That went on for hours. There's video of this. That's how we know about it, is that the video got leaked. And then other videos came out, and there is now a $30,000 reward for videos to what happened outside the bar. Because then, after he got tired of drinking and abusing the wolf in the public, he apparently took her outside the bar and bashed her with a baseball bat and was unsuccessful in killing her with the bat, and ultimately he shot her. And then they skinned her, and his aunt, who is an employee at the bar, taped her own mouth shut and paraded around with the pelt of the now dead wolf around her neck. So this has caught fire across social media. The Washington Department of Fish and Game held an aborted hearing where they sat smugly and defended Wyoming's game management practices as the gold standard, to which I responded in my testimony that if it's a gold standard of anything, it's only cruelty. I'll make sure that everyone's okay here. Looks like puppy maybe has had enough and wants to go inside, so we'll take this inside. So they had a hearing where they basically disregarded the public commentary. They truncated public commentary at 2 hours, even though there were hundreds of people who had signed up to deliver comments. Yeah, puppy needs a little break. All right, so give me a sec here as I wander in. Hey, Nepente, let's go this way. Hey, come on, come on, come on, come on. You come with me. Come on. Come on, let's go up here. All right, Sonny, let go of her tail. All right, Nepente. Okay. Mooney, you go. Go on. Mooney, go. Okay. There we go. So this is little Nepente. She's 11 weeks old. And these guys here, Sonny and Mooney, they just turned a year. So they're about the same age as the wolf pup that this monster tortured. And just so people understand that at this age, these animals haven't learned how to hunt on their own. They are not capable of reproducing yet. And let me show you. So her teeth are about 1 inch long, her canines. And when those teeth are fully erupted, they would be 2 inches long. In other words, this guy tortured a baby. And he glorified in torturing a baby. He was proud of it. He shot selfies. He took video. He let other people take video. Come on, Nepente. And he glorified in abusing this animal. Now, for me, as somebody who's devoted his life to understanding wolves in particular, and knows them intimately in a way that I would say few other people on earth do, since I've actually lived inside a wolf habitat for 37 years. I'm having nightmares. I have not had nightmares about anything in decades. I'm just not one of those guys that has nightmares. But I have had the most violent, horrific dreams because I know how timid wolves are. I know how sensitive they are. I know how deeply felt their social connections to their family group, their pack, but I call it a family group because wolf packs are really families. I am horrified that this went on, and I am unbelievably angry that not only are the laws in Montana sufficiently permissive that the only penalty that this guy got was a $250 fine, which he went on to say is not even what it cost him to buy a round of drinks at the bar where they tortured the wolf. But in the subsequent firestorm where people wrote letters to all the local papers, there were people defending him and his actions and saying that people from outside the area don't know anything about wolves and should stay out of it. And my family was a big cattle family. We were the second largest beef producer in Colorado history. I've lived off-grid for decades. I live in the wildland interface now, inside a wolf habitat. I know these animals intimately. My family group consists of a Malamute, my wife, and 4 wolves. And I have lived with them for decades. And so I know, my wife would tell you that my matriarch female loves me more than my own mother. That is how deeply emotional these animals are. I know how timid they are. It's inconceivable how much suffering this animal underwent at the hands of a monstrous individual with no respect for wildlife, no respect for other sentient beings, and his cohort in the bar who egged him on and felt empowered because of Wyoming's liberal predator killing laws to do so. But here's where the story gets worse. So we were gaslighted by the Wyoming Department of Fish and Game Commission, and I did a little digging because I was curious. So Cody Roberts is the individual's name, and he has C. Roberts Trucking, LLC in Daniel, Wyoming. And so I decided to search Wyoming's OpenGov website, and what I discovered was that the Department of Fish and Game is in a business relationship with this guy, which probably is why they elected not to even look into this until it really hit the public media, and then do only the barest minimum. And they have paid this guy over $130,000 to probably it's his trucking company, and I'm assuming that what he's doing is delivering hay to the elk feeding yards that they use to support the elk population that is so over-objective that they starve unless they supplementally feed these animals, which of course leads to things like chronic wasting disease. So they're actually weakening the herd in the interest of being able to sell more hunting licenses. And they're in a business relationship with this wildlife torturer, and one of the Game Commission members defended him during the hearing and said he was a decent family man. Decent family men do not torture animals. They don't run them down with snowmobiles. They don't tape their muzzle shut and parade them in front of a bar. I won't post the videos or the images, but you can certainly just type in hashtag Cody Roberts on any social media platform and you'll find them. And it's pretty clear that's why they didn't take further action. Now, obviously, we're filing all kinds of lawsuits. We're looking to find ways to prosecute this guy under federal animal cruelty statutes because apparently in Wyoming, there's no animal cruelty protections if you're a wolf or a coyote or a fox or a raccoon or a porcupine or a jackrabbit. And in fact, in 85% of the state, they call it a predator zone, and you can kill those animals that I just named anytime, any day of the year, almost any way you can think of, including running them over with snowmobiles or ATVs, using night vision, traps, snares, baiting them. About the only thing you can't use is poisons, and the federal government can use poisons if they want to take care of them. And so Wyoming's claim that they're the gold standard in wildlife management is despicable. So I just wanted to share my thoughts on this, call it to your attention. If you're a person who doesn't even necessarily care about wolves, but appreciates that torturing a puppy of any persuasion is sick, you should stay tuned to this. And there are petitions to change the laws in Wyoming. So Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho all allow what they call coyote or wolf whacking, which is where they run them down with snow machines or ATVs. We need to get that law changed first and foremost. We need to make sure that animal cruelty statutes apply to all animals. It should go without saying that it should apply to all animals. You should also, if you're really interested in taking action, you can contact Wyoming's Department of Alcohol and request that the bar's liquor license be canceled. First of all, they had an unvaccinated wild animal in a business that serves food. There were minors present. They were enabling wildlife torture. They were over-serving these individuals. They allowed gunfire on the premises and in the city limits when they executed the animal out back. The Department of Food Safety should also be contacted and let them know that bars should not have unvaccinated wildlife in the bar. Apparently, this isn't the first time that Cody Roberts has brought wildlife into the bar. There are comments that indicate that he's previously brought a mountain lion into the bar. And so pretty clearly, this isn't the first time that he's tortured wildlife in public and that the bar has aided and abetted in this torture. You should contact the Wyoming Bureau of Tourism and let them know that until Wyoming changes its ways, you have no intention of spending money in the state. Aside from oil and gas extraction, tourism is the second largest business interest in Wyoming. And if enough people decide that they refuse to spend their money in the state, that could move the needle. You can also contact Governor Mark Gordon and let him know that the Game Commission is out of order, is conflicted, failed to disclose the conflict, and that they should be. So the game commissions typically are appointed by the governor and they serve at his pleasure. And he should ask every single one of those members of the game commission to resign. He should replace them with people of conscience who are willing to acknowledge when a conflict of interest exists. These are just some of the things that you can do. I'm continuing to investigate this myself. In my former life, I was a journalist, and I do write. You can find O-Star, O-S-T-A-R-R on Medium, O-S-T-A-R-R on Twitter, Oliver the Wolf Guy on Google, and you can find a lot of stuff about me. But I'll continue to dig into this, and I'm not going to rest until I see justice for this animal, which people are referring to as Themis and Thea and Hope. I also write short fiction, and I'm actually writing a fiction which I'll be sharing at some point, based on what happened and what a lot of us who are not so pacifist in our approach to life wish could occur in circumstances like these, because sometimes karma doesn't move fast enough. So if you find this interesting, subscribe. I'll be talking about this more. I mean, mainly I like to share beautiful imagery of the animals that I'm so fortunate to live with and try to educate people about the value of wolves and coyotes and other predators for keeping our ecosystems healthy and vibrant. But this is such a particular circumstance that really requires the attention of the general public to change the direction of wildlife management in the western states. We are demanding that federal protections be restored to wolves in all 48 contiguous U.S. states. That's up to Martha Williams, who's the head of the U.S. Department of Fish and Wildlife. Her boss is Deb Haaland, who is the head of the Department of the Interior. And obviously, the most powerful tool is an executive order by the president. And if you want to tweet at Joe Biden and demand that he keep his promise, he promised his grandchildren that he would protect wolves on his watch. He has failed to do that. Wolves are frequently a political football that's used to trade favors, but we need to put a stop to that. These are highly intelligent, sentient beings that play a crucial role in maintaining healthy landscapes, and we must demand that full federal protection for wolves from coast to coast are reinstated, and that state management is remanded back to the federal government, because the states have proven that they are incapable of scientifically managing wolf populations, and they're doing wolf slaughter, wolf persecution, and egregious, horrific killing methods which have no place in the modern arsenal of wildlife management tools and techniques. So I hope that you find this video informative and that it inspires you to care and take action. And if you want to talk to me about this, if you're a member of the media and you want to speak with somebody who has spent his life understanding native carnivores, feel free to reach out to me. You can contact me here on YouTube. You can private message me at OSTARR on X, formerly Twitter. I'm easy to find. So I hope you stay tuned, and I hope that you take action and follow my lead in demanding that justice be done in the name of this wolf baby that was tortured, that Cody Roberts is persecuted to the fullest extent of the law, and that the federal government steps in and takes wolf management back from the states and enacts reasonable legislation nationwide that guarantees that these animals are not subject to cruel and unusual and barbaric treatment because they're essentially a political football. So thanks again for tuning in. This is Oliver the Wolf Guy, tuning out from the High Sierra. I hope to see you on my channel in the future. Take care.